It's Memorial Day weekend and the nursery is fully stocked. We're at Home Depot. Let's go check it out. The first thing that caught my eye was these hosta here in these colored pots that are marked at $11.88, and specifically this one. I was watching Guiding Green Thumbs, Shelly's video earlier this week, and she actually referred to one of her hostas, a sum in substance, and it was absolutely beautiful. And what do I see here? Really pretty. It is a 32 to 36 inch height and 36 to 48 spacing. It's a nice lime green ribbed hosta. They also have this variety called Hosta Elegans. And this one is 30 to 36 inches high, 36 to 48 space. And it almost has like a blue hue to it. Really pretty. They also have this one called Marmalade on Toast, which looks to have a smaller leaf, but it also has that blue cast to it. And this one's actually already has a bloom stalk. I also noticed that this week they have these small containers of ferns. These are $9.98 and they're called Sun Queen. So it looks like it's a more sun-tolerant fern variety. They are pretty small, but if you wanted to use them as a centerpiece in a summer container, they could work. Lots of these beautiful Sun Patient hanging baskets in like a basket weave. And these really pretty colors. It's a little bright, so it's hard to tell. They're beautiful pink, and the foliage on these are beautiful as well. Here's the container. Fuchsia baskets, 10 inch for $17.98. These are looking a little bit worse for the wear. We have these cool ornamental grasses. This one's called Maiden Grass Morning Light. It's $16.98. Looks like a 2-gallon container. Blooms early to late fall. When it says blooms on an ornamental grass, it typically means it sends out those plumes. The height is 4 to 5 feet, and you need 48 inches or 4-foot spacing. Hardy to a -20 degrees Fahrenheit. They look like a variegated grass. Here's a more compact grass. This one's called Tufted Hairgrass Gold Tau. And this one blooms early to midsummer, 12 to 24 inches high and 24 to 30. So this is a good small grass for a smaller space or for a more front to mid border. They have some peonies. This one's called Double Pink and it's $19.98. This one's actually getting ready to bloom. And look how beautiful that looks, the contrast of that pink against this Nepeta. So this is actually the proven winners. Cat's Meow, Nepeta, or Catmint. And this one gets 17 to 20 inches. It likes full sun. And you need 24-inch spacing. So this one's a little bit larger than the Cat's Pajamas. It has a really beautiful lavender purple, and the bees love this. Mine is loaded with bees all summer, and these are really long blooming. If you cut them back, you get another flush as well, but even before I have to cut them back, I get at least, you know, a solid 6 weeks of bloom out of them. They have some proven winners opening act ultra pink phlox, which is really pretty. Again, the pink with the purple, beautiful. It's my favorite garden combo. Let's see how big this one gets. 22 to 28 inches height and 32 inch spacing, so good size. Let's see how much it is. So the Cat's Meow Nepeta was $12.98 and it's a 1 gallon, but these are really good size 1 gallons. They're nice and full. and the phlox is also $12.98. They still have lots of ajuga, and I haven't seen this kind before. I've seen the chocolate chip, and today they have this black scallop, which has bigger foliage. It's $10.98. It has this beautiful big foliage. Really nice ground cover. I'm working on adding more ground cover to eventually replace most of the mulch in my garden. When it comes to ajuga, this one is actually my favorite. This one is called Burgundy Glow, and it has the most beautiful foliage. You can see where it gets the Burgundy Glow name from. It has a mix of variegated white and green foliage, as well as these beautiful burgundy purple leaves. Here is the tag on that one. It's called Buggleweed Burgundy Glow Ajuga, and it's also $10.98, and these are 1 gallon containers. But this is an absolutely beautiful ground cover. These daisies here are really beautiful. I really love the split foliage on them. Let's check these out. So these are a Shasta daisy, carpet angel daisy, and it looks like they get 36 inches wide by 24 inches tall. So a nice compact Shasta daisy. This phlox is always really interesting to me. I see it every year and I'm always conflicted about getting it. Let me know in the comments below if you have it in your garden. This here is called the Nora Lee Garden Phlox. It's a variegated phlox. The foliage is variegated and it's a light pink with a dark pink center. The foliage is very pretty. I haven't found the right spot in my garden for it. But they have this one here, and this perennial is a 1 gallon and it's $8.98. And the size is 30 to 36 inches wide by 24 inches. I guess it's 30 by 36 tall and wide. Give it at least a 2-foot spacing. Really pretty. They have this dwarf hummingbird mint, and it's like a really pretty light orange color. It smells really nice. And while this does say perennial, I have not had this type of hummingbird mint or agastache come back for me reliably in my zone 6B, maybe with some protection, but doesn't like the wet soil of the winter. They also have some Gara, Ballerina Compact White. So we just saw that variegated foliage phlox. Here's another really pretty variegated foliage plant. This one is called Loosestrife Alexander. So this loosestrife is a variegated foliage with a yellow bloom, and it's part sun. I actually have this in my garden, and it's in a little bit of shade, and I always see it kind of reaching for the sun. But the foliage is really pretty, and when it leaves out, it has almost like this really pretty pink tint on the edges. In comparison to the catmint that we just saw over there, the Cat's Meow, this one is called Catmint Walker's Low, and this is a more traditional catmint, and so this is in the Home Depot can. The measurements on this one says 10 inches high, but that is not true. They actually get much higher than that, and this older variety I find gets really scraggly and splits in the middle. So if you don't like floppy plants, floppy plants, you probably would want to stay away from this type and look for one of the newer improved catmints that will stay more upright and compact. They have some white salvia that's also really pretty. It's reminiscent of the White Wands Veronica. This one is a full sun perennial, 18 to 24 inches tall and wide. And these are again $8.98. I imagine these would look really pretty in a grouping of a few of them. This is a new to me perennial. It's called Nadia. I might be pronouncing that wrong. If you know, let me know. So Nadia Macedoniaceae. Oh, okay, I can't even say it. Let's just skip that part. But it's called Mars Midget, and this one gets to be 16 inches tall, and it has this really cool foliage. And you know what this looks like to me? A member of the Scabiosa family. It's got this really pretty magenta red type bloom. It definitely looks like a pincushion flower to me, but really pretty. There's a few more here in bloom. They still have a lot of these 12-inch hangers of the Boston ferns. I actually did a video recently on how you can split these. Some people don't know that these can be divided. Yeah, they'll look a little bit, you know, shabby for a week or two, but they will look good in no time, and you can save yourself some money. These are really, really large and perfect candidates for splitting. They have this really cool dappled willow, a Kuro Nishiki shrub. And these need 5-foot spacing. Give these a lot of room because they do get fairly large, but they're very pretty. $24.98, and this is 3 gallons. And look at this foliage. Incredible. All the new growth comes out like this. They have these really cool succulent hanging baskets. These are a great gift. They're $19.98. It's an 8-inch basket. Look at all the colors. They almost look faux, like fake. Some more succulent arrangements. And these are beautiful hanging baskets. If you have a drier area, these are $39.98. And look at these. They have a snake plant in the middle. Those don't like a lot of water, so if you're a person who, you know, maybe falls behind on your watering in the summer, what a great alternative. A succulent hanging basket. This is genius, really. Lots of these mandevilla containers that already have a tropical spike or the cordyline in the center. These are $34.98. They have these absolutely beautiful 20-inch whiskey barrel planters full of geraniums, and it has that vinca coming down and a spike in the center. Instant summer container. Just beautiful. I'm not generally a fan of red flowers, but I have to say this mandevilla in red is really eye-catching. I came around the corner and it just caught my eye. There's some more right here. Here in the Northeast, we're not really able to keep fruit trees out year-round in Zone 6B in Massachusetts, but look, you can have some patio citrus. They have some lemons and some limes. Really cool. Let's see how much these are. So this is a thornless key lime. Great for food and drinks. It'd be good for the mojitos with the mint we grow in the garden. And it's $29.98. It's a 1 gallon. It's in a plastic container. Really cool. Let's see what kind of lemons these are. It's an improved Meyer lemon. I'm always intrigued by these, but I don't need any more plants that I need to carry in and out. I already have to do that with our fig trees, which in 3 years have yet to give me figs. That's another story. They have these sun-loving mini roses called Sunblaze. This one's Rainbow Sunblaze, and they're actually really pretty, the blooms. They're petite and they're yellow with a little bit of a pink red color on the outside. Really pretty. Let's see how much these are. They're $26.98. 3-gallon size, and they almost look like they have this plastic, like terracotta looking pot. It's a little sunny right now, so I apologize for the lighting in this particular spot. I've never seen these before. This is a type of aster. It's called East Indies Aster Wartburg Star. Let's see how big they get. So these get 36 inches tall and 12 by 18 inches wide, and they bloom in early summer. They're actually really, really pretty. It's like a purple daisy. Here's a new shrub I've never seen here before. This one is a Proven Winners hydrangea, Quick Fire Fab. So let's see, I have a regular Quick Fire in my garden. Then they also have the small one, which I think is the dwarf. I'm not sure, the name's escaping me at the moment. But let's check out this Quick Fire Fab. So this one gets to be 6 to 8 inches tall and 5 to 6 wide. In terms of size, it seems very similar to my Quick Fire. But yeah, maybe the color is different. And let's see how much these are. They look really, really healthy and fully leafed out. They're a 3-gallon size, and they're $29.98. They still have the Puckster Amethyst, and these are just beautiful dwarf butterfly bushes. I have a couple in my garden, and I love them. They have pollinators on them all season, from summer through your hard frost in the fall. And these get 2 feet tall and wide. This amethyst color is lovely. And you see how these have a bunch of, dried up flowers? Don't worry about that. This is such a long blooming perennial that if you really want these in your garden, you just want to look at the foliage and make sure that the foliage is healthy. You get home and you deadhead these. Deadheading just means you're cutting off all of these spent or blooms that are done blooming. And you cut them right here above the leaf node and refresh the plant, and it's going to start pushing out a bunch of new buds just like this. And it's going to bloom for you until the first frost. And these are, let's see how much they are. They are $29.98. This is a beautiful perennial dwarf butterfly bush for your garden. The Puckster by Proven Winners. They also currently have little limes in stock in my zone 6B. And the little lime is a smaller version of the limelight hydrangea. These things have incredible color. When they start blooming, they are like a white and then like a green color, like a limey white green. I can't even explain it. And then they go pink and then an antique pink. I mean, just stunning. You never have to do anything to them. The lighting's not catching the specs, but it gets 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. So if you don't have the space for the limelight hydrangea, you can go with this more compact little lime. And these are, how much are these? $29.98, 3-gallon size. Correction, that is a 2-gallon. So $29.98 for a 2-gallon, and these are vigorous growers. So this is cool. This is called Decked Out, and it's an easy care planter. It looks like you can just take and drop this into a planter. It kind of looks like a lavender to me. Not a lavender, I'm sorry, a lilac. It certainly looks like a lilac. And these are, see, it doesn't look like a lilac too much in the picture. So I'm wondering if this is another series, kind of like those drop-in blooms, where they're selling you the container specifically prepared for you to put in your planter or your pot. And this is a 2-gallon for $29.98. Yeah, this definitely looks like a lilac. Look at these beautiful lupin. They're pretty much past their prime at this point. They are considered perennial. If you wanted to purchase these now, even though they're kind of past their prime, you could plant them and they should return for you next year if they're happy in their conditions. Lupin, like poor soil, I tried for 5 years to grow them, never had success until I did not amend the soil at all. No fertilizer, no compost, just into the regular garden soil that I have that actually has a little bit of sand in it. And it did beautifully. Check out my most recent spring garden tour to see my lupin. It's as tall as me in some spots. But mine is purple and this is pink. They have these big containers of Shasta Daisy Snow Lady. How big do these get? These are 10 to 12 inches high, so a nice compact daisy. This would be good for a front of the border. And it needs 15-inch spacing. And it's it's an All-American Selections winner, so this is going to be a very, according to this, a very shrubby or dense daisy. And these are their 3-gallon containers for $19.98. And they're not yet in bloom, so if you get these in your garden now, you will get to enjoy the full bloom show. They also have these large containers of the Primo Wild Rose Heuchera. In terms of color, this is one of my favorite varieties for the Proven Winners Heuchera. These are nice and large. The container is a 3-gallon for $24.98. Here are the specs on this one. It gets 8 to 10 inches tall. And you need 26-inch spacing because it is wider than it is tall. Now, these are perennial. However, they are not bunny and deer proof. So if you have those pests in your garden, you will have to protect these a little bit by spraying or whatnot. But they do offer beautiful color contrast against all of the green in the garden. These roses are actually really beautiful. They are called, let's see here, Coral Miracle Large Single Petaled Shrub Rose. Let's see how big they get. They prefer 6 to 8 hours. They prefer 6 to 8 hours of full sun. Keep the soil moist for the first couple of weeks, then only add water as needed. And winter protection. Protect from extreme temperature changes with 8 to 10 inches of mulch or dirt above the crown of the plant. And that is actually an important lesson for myself as well, because I've been losing a lot of roses. You know, roses and I've mentioned it in these videos before. We have a love-hate relationship. But these are actually really beautiful. These are 3-gallon containers and they are $26.98. They still have lots of beautiful flowering deciduous trees. This is a white dogwood. It's $69.98. It looks to be a 5-gallon container and it is just a white dogwood, but it looks really healthy and it's nice and round. I pulled it out to check it out. Nice healthy foliage. So good buy at an affordable price if you're wanting to add a tree to your landscape. Here they have a Japanese maple. Let's check this out. Nice big tag on this one. I like it. A red leaf Japanese maple. Doesn't tell you the variety, so you know it's some kind of seedling. Doesn't say whether or not it's a blood good or an Emperor 1. It just says red maple. You can't go by the tag. Usually you should probably look at the label because a lot of times it'll give you the actual genus name of the plant here. So here it's calling it an Atropurpureum. So that's what you'd want to Google if you want more information regarding this Japanese maple. By looking at the foliage, you can actually tell with the foliage that it's going to be a fairly large variety maple. And pretty, probably a specimen tree in your front yard. Here's a cool Japanese maple that I just found at Home Depot. So you can't knock these places because sometimes you find some treasures. This is a Tamakayama, and it's a beautiful lace leaf Japanese maple. You can see how the last one had that very closed full leaf, where this one has the split leaves, and this is what they call a lace leaf Japanese maple. They have these really pretty Decadence Blue Bubbly version of Baptisia or False Indigo. It's got this beautiful purple bloom. There's a few of them in bloom right now, actually. And let's see the specs on these guys. So these are, they need full sun, part sun, and 48 to 54 inches. spacing. This is a 3-gallon size and it is $24.98. There's some 3-gallon containers of this Salvia Blue Hill. And it blooms early summer to fall, so that would be with deadheading. You would get subsequent blooms, 18 to 24 inches high and 12 to 18 spacing. It is $19.98 for a 3-gallon size. Some is actually in bloom back here. I wish you guys could smell this peony. This is a Sarah Bernhardt and it is absolutely stunning. It's my favorite one in my garden. It is so fluffy and ruffly and has the most beautiful peony scent. They have 5-gallon containers of peonies for $44.98. Here's a 3-gallon container of the Proven Winners Phlox for $24.98. And this one is a really beautiful shade of a very light purple with a pink center. Let's see if we can find the name on it. No name, but I'm gonna go with it's like an opening act, maybe polka dot or pinka dot phlox, maybe. My best guess. Nice pretty phlox and nice full container. You can probably carefully divide this into 2 clumps. They have these weeping beeches here. I had filmed these a couple of weeks back in another one of these tours, and they weren't leafed out yet, but they are now. I actually really like these, but my husband is not a fan. But look how cool they look. I feel like they look cool. They have a really dark red purple foliage, and this weeping habit just gives a lot of interest in the garden. It's a 7-gallon container for $89.98, and here's a close-up on the foliage. It's absolutely beautiful. Here's another pretty pink bloom with a variegated foliage. This one is called Catchfly Clifford Moore. And these get to be, let's see the size on them, 12 to 18 inches, tall and wide. Really pretty. And these are $19.98, 3-gallon size. I find that they're doing a lot of those larger containers, that bigger price point, but I guess you get instant impact, and that's the trade-off. They have some Scotch's Broom in this color here. It's called Lena, and it has like an orangey red bloom, but they have a really cool shape to their foliage, an upright structure plant. And these are $26.98, and this is a 3-gallon size. And this big swath of gorgeousness is the Incredible hydrangea. These are nice, big, smooth, or what they call the arborescence hydrangeas, and they get these big bloom big bloom heads that look like a big fluffy white bloom ball, and they are an improved variety of the Annabelle, which is an old-fashioned hydrangea. I used to have the Annabelle. My mom gave me some, but they were always flopping on the ground whenever it rained because the blooms were just so heavy. But these are supposed to stay more upright, and their size is 4 to 5 tall and wide. And these are, let's see how much they are, $34.98, and this is a 3-gallon size. And they still have these oak leaf hydrangeas, and this one actually has some blooms on it and getting ready to bloom. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pick one of these up because I've been eyeing them since they were here in the winter, and they had all burnt foliage. They've since put out new foliage, and now they're getting ready to bloom. So let's see. These are, I mean, they come with some weeds, so you'll have to take those out, but they are $29.98, and they're a 3-gallon size. I've been hesitant to get these for the simple fact that I don't know what variety they are. It just looks like a generic variety oak leaf hydrangea, but honestly they're so pretty and they're hard to come by for that type of price and that size, so I'm just gonna grab one. Really pretty. And then they also have all of these endless summer hydrangeas. Summer Crush. 18 to 36 inches tall and wide. Nice healthy looking shrubs too. And these are $34.98. $34.98, yep. These Diablo 9 barks, these are beautiful contrast shrubs. Like, you have a lot of green shrubs typically in the garden, but when you add one of these dark foliage shrubs, it's just beautiful. And then they bloom this time of year. These are a part sun shrub. There's some compact varieties. This one seems to be a regular large one, and it gets to be about 8 feet tall and wide, so you want to give them a lot of space. This is a 3-gallon container for $26.98. These are really beautiful. And look at these huge containers of Echinacea or yarrow. 3 gallons, $19.98. And you can split these right out of the container into 2 or even 3 plants. Just want to be careful, look for a good division spot. This is a pink mix. Really pretty. And sometimes you get lucky and you find these amazing, unique shrubs for $29.98. Look at this. This is a Camaparis Fern Spray Gold for $29.98. It's essentially a Hinoki Cypress Fern Spray Gold, and this is going to make a really cool landscape specimen tree with these golden arching branches. It gets 4 to 8 feet tall and wide, hardy down to -30 Fahrenheit, and it's coming home with me. They still have lots and lots of evergreen shrubs, boxwoods and hollies and Alberta spruces and arborvitae. So check them out if you're in need. It's certainly a budget-friendly way to build your landscape. Such beautiful, healthy containers of this Wine and Roses Weigela. I actually have 2 of these in my garden and I love them. They have dark foliage and these pretty bell-shaped pink blooms. They're a proven winter shrub, and they get to be 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. And these are $34.98 in a 2-gallon, $34.98 for a 2-gallon container of the Wine and Roses Weigela. There's a couple blooms. Lots and lots of hydrangeas at the moment, so this is the time to get them. Around Memorial Day weekend, they all show up. Look how pretty these are. These are the bloomstruck of the endless summer hydrangeas. And remember that the color that they're going to be is going to depend on the acidity of your soil. More acidic, they're going to be more on the purple end. More alkaline, they'll be more on the pink side. But these are gorgeous. Let's check out the price. Here at Home Depot, for the 2-gallon size, they are $32.98. And then there's these beautiful ones that look like they're the house brand. They're $22.98. It just says hydrangea. And then this beautiful pink. And here are the 2 things I came home with from Home Depot. A oak leaf hydrangea and a Hinoki Cypress Fern Spray Gold. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.